Hi, I'm Scott Hendrickson, a cloud architect at Datastax. And today I'm going to walk through a deployment of Datastax Enterprise 6.0 in the Azure Marketplace. Once you have logged into Azure and landed on the Marketplace, a quick search for Datastax will bring you to the offering. From here, click on Datastax Enterprise and you're ready to get started. In the Azure Marketplace, we have automated deployments that allow you to easily and quickly create clusters in Azure. Test Drive is a time-constrained offering that creates a small DSE cluster in order to do some limited testing. The Get It Now button allows you to configure the size of a cluster, the type of compute and storage. It also provisions a fully featured DSE instance including search, analytics, and graph. Both of these are offered for development-only purposes with no licensing cost. I'm going to click through the Get It Now deployment and show you what it takes to install Datastax Enterprise. Hitting Create takes you to the configuration page where you will need to configure some basic and cluster level settings. For the basic settings, you'll need a username for each of the VMs. You'll have to give the user's password. You'll also need a password for the Cassandra user, a password for Ops Center, the management and monitoring tool. You also need to provide an Azure resource group and a region where you want to deploy. Then hit OK. The next screen is the cluster configuration screen. This is where you'll select the node count for the cluster and the type of virtual machine you want to use. Azure offers instance types for general purpose, compute optimized, memory optimized, or storage optimized. For today's deployment, we are selecting a general purpose machine, the DS3 V2. Hit OK to move to the summary screen. From here, hit OK twice more and the deployment starts. These typically take around 15 to 20 minutes to complete. So for time's sake, I'm going to show you a few operational features of DSE in a deployment that has already completed. When your deployment completes, you can click on the resource group that you created and see the various resources that have been installed. Look for the Ops Center public IP resource and click on it. This will give you a public IP that can be used to access Ops Center. Ops Center can be accessed on port 8443. It is the web-based visual management and monitoring solution for Datastax Enterprise. It has integrated functionality for real-time monitoring, tuning, provisioning, backup, and security management. It also allows you to configure and install Datastax clusters. I'm going to show you a couple of views from the console. This is the ring view, which displays a cluster as a ring of nodes and gives you some indication of the health. The dashboard view provides real-time and historical performance metrics around storage, load, latency, and other characteristics. The data view shows key spaces and tables that are in your cluster. This is a very brief overview of Ops Center. The next tool we're going to look at is geared towards developer and is called Studio. The URL for Studio can be found on the Ops Center public IP at port 9091. Studio is an interactive developer's tool designed to help you with core DSE by allowing for the execution of CQL, Cassandra Query Language, Gremlin Query Language, and Spark SQL. Studio notebooks are a mix of code, documentation, query results, and visualization. Let's take a look at one of them. This is the DSE Graph Workshop Notebook. As you can see, it is a mix of Markdown language and Gremlin query language. The Markdown language helps you understand what's going on in the notebook and the specifics of the queries that follow. What we're looking at now is the execution of a Gremlin query and its display. Displays can be in graphical format or in tabular format, as you can see here. Studio is a powerful tool for all developers. This concludes our Azure Marketplace deployment video and capabilities walkthrough. If you have any questions, please contact Colin or myself at the email addresses on the screen. Thanks.